Three hot, three not. This is the series in which I look at the three hottest wrestlers coming off the last PLE Crown Jewel, and the three not hottest wrestlers, cold if you will, also from said PLE Crown Jewel. We'll start off with Stephanie Vaquir. She is hot right now. I think she's really hot, even though the feud going into Crown Jewel kind of was sucky and lame. It was just a bunch of I respect you, and I hate those kind of feuds. But I will say this, Stephanie, she's recently just won the world champion. Untested, unproven in the WWE system, and yet they still allowed her to beat Tiffany. Tiffany Stratton, to me, is almost like the blueprint of what WWE wants in their wrestlers. I'm not saying that's what I necessarily want, but I'm saying WWE seems to want. Tiffany is like the perfect star. They created her from scratch. They molded her to be Tiffany Stratton, the one that they chose to be a young superstar, to beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, to be undefeated in 2025, and that blueprint wrestler is going against this indie wrestler who is kind of just got onto the main roster, and yet they let Stephanie win. I could not believe it. I really thought Tiffany was going to take it. I wanted Stephanie to win, so I was very happy that Stephanie won, but I just didn't think she would. So that means to me that they got big plans for Stephanie. They got big plans for Stephanie if they're going to let her give Tiffany her only loss of 2025. So while maybe Stephanie's not like molten lava, volcanic hot, because, you know, she hasn't had a real feud yet, she is like, maybe she's like 107 degrees hot. You know, you're in bed, you're shivering cold, but you're 107 degrees, get that person to the hospital because they're hot, and so is Stephanie with her world champion. And if you want a world champion, all you gotta do is comment below. I'm gonna give away said belt right here on my shoulder, or any belt that's been on my shoulder, at 20,000 subscribers, giving it away. Why? Want to quit my day job. I'm trying to bribe you. And how do you win it? All you got to do is pin Stephanie Vaquir, or you can comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding ding ding, notification, and you can win. Random comment from a random video, and you can win said belt right here. It's not a toy, it's a replica. All right, so let's talk cold right now. The New Day, I hate putting them on this list. I really do. I put them on the last list. In fact, from now on, I will not be putting anyone on the cold list twice in a row unless they've been on a PLE. So that starts now, but because it's starting now, the New Day are still eligible. I'm putting them on the cold list because, again, you know, honestly, WWE's been doing a really good job over the last like 4 or 5 episodes of Raw, SmackDown, and PLEs, that there's not many people to choose from on the cold side of things from Crown Jewel. I think Crown Jewel was a near perfect PLE where everybody walked away looking good. So I'm reaching on to Raw. I'm picking the New Day because, again, they lost to Penta. 3 people lost to one guy, and plus Grayson Waller, he is from Australia, and they love to wheel him out for these Australian events, and, well, they didn't. So that just shows me that the New Day are cold. However, there is hope. And thank God for the New Day and this hope, because what is happening, or what has happened, was the New Day were in contract negotiations, and it came down to the wire. And they re-signed. But that means when the New Day were getting jobbed out to Penta, they might have jumped ship. Therefore, I don't blame creative for jobbing out the New Day if they weren't sure if the New Day were going to re-sign, because that's what they used to do in the old days. You just lose, and then you leave for WCW. And so they were probably just making the New Day lose in case they jumped ship to AEW. But now that they have re-signed, things can go back to how they should be, and the New Day can skyrocket back up that card Hopefully. But that's the future. This is now. They're cold. How cold would they be? I would say they're like a bag of frozen peas in the freezer that, the guy was trying to be healthy. He bought some vegetables, frozen peas, but he said, screw that. And now he opens the freezer. The peas are like, ooh, me. And he grabs the pizza rolls, and that rinse, repeat over and over again. That's how cold the New Day are right now. Let's go hot. Let's go back to hot, and I'm going to say Jey Uso. Yeet and Jey Uso, parentheses, the Bloodline, question mark, that they're hot. I would say they're hot. So the final hot is going to be the Vision. So spoiler alert. So, but while the Vision is like supernova hot, Jey Uso is still being talked about. His development, his character development right now is so good that even while like the main event scene is falling into chaos, we're still talking Jey Uso. We're still talking about how he's crashing out on Jimmy Uso, how he's treating Jimmy Uso like he's kind of like a liability. We're watching Jimmy Uso react to this. We're seeing Roman say to Jey, hey man, you need to focus. You need to keep your eye on the ball. You need to step up and get that championship back. Forget all the noise. And then also Jey Uso comes to help Roman Reigns, and he actually spears him, and Roman's like, I don't want to see none of you until Christmas. So like there's just so much going on with Jey and the Bloodline. It's so freaking interesting, and I love the development of everybody. And so I'm putting it on Jey. But you could argue that this is a Jey, Jimmy, Roman situation where the entire Bloodline should be on the hot list. But I'm just gonna give it to Jey with honorable mention of the side characters right now, the supporting cast of Jey. Then we'll go cold. You're probably going to hate me on this. I probably wouldn't say cold, but this is definitely, I'll just say it. AJ Styles. I'm putting AJ Styles on. You're like, wait, what? Didn't AJ Styles just have the best match against John Cena? Yes, he did. Honestly, yeah, he really did. And you know why I'm putting him on the cold list? Because he did just have a great match against John Cena. And what are we doing with him? He's now back to tag teaming with Dragon Lee. Why are those guys even a tag team? Because Dragon Lee helped him one time against Grande Americano? I don't get why they're a tag team on so many levels. Storyline wise, it doesn't really make sense, but even just from a character's perspective, you got AJ Styles literally saying, I am retiring in 2026, and they barely mention it. I get it. We don't want to overshadow John Cena's retirement. He has 4 matches left, but okay, so what? We could start the process, but he's in a tag team. He's in a tag team with Dragon Lee. Like, those two, like, they hadn't even ever crossed paths up until like a month ago. So for him to have one of the best matches of the year, just a phenomenal, pun intended, matchup with John Cena that was just like off the charts. And for him to instantly just go back to a tag team with Dragon Lee, I don't get it. So I wouldn't say he's like cold. He's probably more lukewarm than anything. He was like a cup of coffee. So the coffee was really hot. You know how they have like caution hot coffee on McDonald's cups? If you spill it on yourself, you will like get 3rd-degree burns, I guess. He was that cup of coffee at Crown Jewel, but instantly when he got to Raw, somebody forgot where they put their coffee, and now it's room temperature. That's what AJ is. AJ should be red hot. That's the thing. He should be red freaking hot after Crown Jewel, but no, he's in a tag team with someone he's never really tagged before. It just doesn't make sense. He said he was retiring. We should be moving him in that direction of retiring. Like, oh, well, that's that. So AJ Styles, I'm putting him on the cold list, but he's probably more lukewarm, room temperature, if anything. I'll probably get a lot of hate for that one, but yeah, it's just the fact that they're not doing anything with him that they should, and they should be doing definitely more. They should definitely be doing more. So okay, so now let's do the part-timers. John Cena, red hot. That was like, I just said it, and maybe it's hypocritical of me, but that's red hot for John Cena. That was the best match of his retirement tour, and just like, I wish there was a feud going into it other than on Twitter. Like, this feud was literally based on the fact that Triple H did such a bad job booking his retirement tour that John Cena had to beg on Twitter to the fans. So that was an interesting way to build a feud there. But that said, just a great match. Him and AJ have such good chemistry. John Cena and AJ Styles, they just did homages to so many people and all of their moves. It was a love letter to wrestling fans. Now, if you were just a recent wrestling fan, I don't know how much you would have liked that. So I would be interested if you started watching wrestling in like maybe the last 2 or 3 years and you really don't know John Cena that well, maybe even AJ Styles that well, because they haven't really booked him that well in the last couple of years. But like, let me know in the comments what you felt, how you felt watching that. But for someone who's been watching since literally seeing John Cena say to Kurt Angle, "Ruthless aggression," this was an amazing payoff to me. So John Cena, red freaking hot as his retirement tour with only now 4 dates left to go finally kicks into how it should have been since the beginning. Let's do Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns lost. He lost at Crown Jewel against Bronson Reed, and yet I still think he's hot. Losses don't necessarily matter if you're hot or cold. And I will put Roman Reigns here because Roman is finally getting to speak in backstage segments with Jey Uso, as I alluded to earlier. Not alluded to, I flat out said it, but Roman saying things to him like, "Hey man, you need to focus and worry about you. Don't worry about anybody else. Quit worrying about everybody else. That's why you're not champion right now, because you're too busy worried." And so Roman breathing into life into Jey, but then also saying things to Jimmy like, "What's so wrong about him listening to me? I see everything, Jimmy. I see everything." And then him crashing out on the Usos, and now the Usos are kind of being like mad at him. Jey being like, "Man, it's all about him. Always about him. He doesn't change." So now there's animosity, but respect. It's just people are talking. And Roman, I don't know if he's out until Christmas or not, but he said, "I don't want to see you until Christmas." So now he has an out without having to get injured. So Roman, he's red hot too. Our next one, we'll say Brock Lesnar. I would say cold. He's not like, he hasn't appeared, so he's just cold. I don't know. Once he appears, he'll be hot again. That's the thing with Brock. When he's around, he's hot. And then he just disappears. So not hot. Logan Paul, don't even see him. So he's ice cold. I think that's all the part-timers right now. Part-time Cody Rhodes, I guess he's more hot than not, but some people don't consider him part-time, so I'm going to keep him off the list. I think there are hotter individuals. All right, so now let's get back to full-timers, and I'm going to put AJ Lee on the cold list, which sucks because I believe she was just on the hot list, but cold. Where has she been? Where is she? Ever since, what was it, Clash in Paris? Ever since Clash in Paris, WrestlePalooza, she's just been not present, not here. In fact, they barely talked about it. I think the only mention she got was CM Punk saying in a promo, "I celebrated with my wife that we beat Seth and Becky Lynch." I mean, yeah, you should celebrate beating Becky Lynch. She's the best in the world, and that's not just me saying it. That's Sports Illustrated. But like, for real, they just literally CM Punk just disappeared for 2 weeks completely, and AJ hasn't been seen since. And it's like, fine. I don't know if she's a part-timer or not. I'm going to treat her like a full-timer this time, and maybe moving forward I'll treat her like a part-timer. But like, just at least say something. Say, okay, she stood up for her man, CM Punk, and she's back home. She never wanted to get back into wrestling. Say something. Whether she's coming back or not, like, we don't require much. One sentence is all you need to literally make it all make sense, and yet they don't. So I gotta put AJ Lee on the cold list. And I wouldn't necessarily say she's that cold because, like, I think she's gonna reappear on Monday, but I would say she's this kind of cold. So they took some meat, they took some hamburger meat out of the freezer, right? They put it in thaw. They put it to thaw in the microwave. They took it out, they started cooking, and they realized that it hadn't thawed all the way, and there's still like a cold middle of the meat. That's how cold AJ is right now. All right, so now let's do the Vision. The Vision, red hot. I mean, they're like supernova hot. Like, I don't know if a supernova is hot. I've never experienced one, but I'm assuming it is. Like a supernova, a sun exploding, has to be hot, right? And that's what they are. That makes sense because, the Vision did explode. Now, I would have put the Vision on here regardless because Crown Jewel, they had an amazing PLE, but like then Monday happened and it exploded even more so. Like, holy cow. First off, you have Bronson Reed. He wins against Roman Reigns. That's unheard of. Roman like barely gives anyone matches, and Bronson got 2 out of them. This dude was like, he was Piper Niven like 3 months ago, and now he's the tribal thief beating Roman Reigns. Like, this dude was fired in like 2023, and now he's in a marquee match against Roman freaking Reigns in Australia. Wow. Seth Rollins, he wins against Cody Rhodes. Like, Cody Rhodes, he's lost to 5 people since returning at WrestleMania 38, and now Seth Rollins can count himself one of them. Yeah, he did it with a Rolex, but in this day and age, that's kind of a clean victory, honestly. But yeah, like, so they were hot leaving Crown Jewel, and then it even magnifies. Now, granted, what happened on Raw seems to be a reaction to Seth Rollins actually getting injured, and whether or not it's a work, I don't care. Work me all day long, WWE, but the thing is, it does seem to be legit, and that's unfortunate. And I'm glad the storyline is taking place that it is, but I would much rather Seth be healthy and happy. I'll never put the health of a wrestler above the storyline. But that said, good things can happen from a bad situation. And so, Monday Night Raw happens. We do have a lot of Seth Rollins just saying how good things are, but Bronson Reed, he goes and beats Jey Uso clean. So more momentum for Bronson Reed. Then we have the Vision. They attack the main event scene, but Braun Breaker just out of nowhere spears Seth Rollins, and then he says to Paul and Bronson, pick me or him. Let's go. Pick right now. We don't drag it out. There's not 3 weeks of who's he going to side with? No, it's just like boom, boom. We have a new Vision. I don't even know if they're the Vision anymore, but whatever they are freaking red hot, and I cannot wait to see it. Like, this has injected just life and chaos into the Raw main event scene, and I'm all for it. So there you go. Those are your 3 hot, your 3 not. What did you think? Tell me in the comments below who you think is the hottest, who you think is not the hottest. I appreciate every single one of you. You're hot, and you're hot, and you're hot, and you're hot, and you're hot. See you, bye.